It is precisely actions such as the Chinese government has taken, against Ngawang Choephel, that deter, the Tibetans to go back, even as individuals. To be very candid, I have myself never been able to go back to Tibet since 1959. I would also like to, visit very much, but they will not allow me to visit.
I will show the historical roots of this oral traditions in Tibetan music. How each type of song is connected to the larger culture, and how each song developed. Some of the unusual forms I hope to locate are sikyog, call and response songs, which are used in certain ceremonies between male and female groups.
Quite often, even the relatives who live in Tibet, quite often tell their relatives, okay, you came once, you met us, we saw you, now don't come back, until the situation changes. Which in Tibetan clearly means, till there's, till the Tibetans are free. They don't use words like independence. It's first of all because those words are totally unspeakable in Tibet.
So when I think about going back to Tibet, I think it's just wanting to really, as a young Tibetan woman who's living in exile, to see the contrast between myself and my cousin who lived all of her life in Tibet, and how can I learn from them, and how can I share from my own life as an exile. So those would be the questions, and wanting to preserve some part of, their life into my life, so I can share that with my children someday. I don't feel scared, but I feel like it's my right to go back. It's my right to touch the soil and see the animals. But I'm so scared that it's not going to be there. It's going to be different by the time when I'm able to go.
Also, while in Tibet, footage of the Chinese established Tibetan Performing Arts Institutes and Chinese-influenced Tibetan performers will be taken in order to show the changes in the Tibetan culture.
Mr. Choephel was last seen in Shigatse prison around October 9th, 1995 by Dorji Rinchen, a Tibetan businessman who has since been released and is now in India. September 16th, 1995 at around 11 a.m. As I looked out of the prison bars, I was shocked to see two prison officials bringing in Ngawang Choephel. Ngawang Choephel was wearing a jacket with a hood and held a sleeping bag in his hand.
My first and best mode of action would be to do a letter writing campaign. So that became my major push right off the bat.
I heard the prison held more than 500 prisoners, and that the prisoners were all Tibetans, except for two Chinese prisoners. I also learned that most of the prisoners were political prisoners, who were accused of possessing reactionary materials like videotapes, cassette tapes, etc.
And we sent 450 of those letters off, which felt pretty good, you know, like we were actually getting something done and doing something and getting it into China. We sent a lot of letters directly to China.
Ngawang Choephel was placed in block number 8 of the prison. I met him on 2 occasions. During these brief meetings, he told me that he had been recording old traditional Tibetan music and dances on video, and that the Chinese authorities had arrested him from the marketplace in Shigatse. Ngawang Choephel also told me that the Chinese had confiscated his passport, camera, and 2 videotapes.
And so we sent off these letters not